Hi, okay, welcome again to our English class. Okay, today we are going to continue with what we saw last time, that is on the same way, that is on linking words. Okay, last time we stopped on the 7th point. We stopped on the 7th point and we didn't finish. Okay, so we are going to finish with it and see another series of linking words. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on 5. On Y, please. Why? Okay. Why? Why? Whereas and unlike are used to show how two things are different from each other. Okay. Why? Why, whereas, while, whereas, and unlike. Okay. So, while, whereas, and unlike are used to show how two things are different from each other. Okay, that is it. This expression, okay, they are used here to show how two things are different from each other. So while, whereas, and unlike are used to show how two things are different from each other. Example: while my sister has blue eyes, mine are brown. Okay, while my sister has blue eyes, mine are brown. Okay, that is, my sister has blue eyes and mine are brown. I have brown eyes. So when you look at while here, okay, while here it shows the difference between the two persons. Okay, here it is blue and here it is brown. So blue and brown are not the same, they are different. Okay, while my sister has blue eyes, mine are brown. Taxes have gone up, whereas social security contributions have gone down. Taxes have gone up, whereas social security contributions have gone down. Okay, but this here is something like it is an opposite. Okay, taxes have gone up, whereas social security contributions have gone down. Okay, so here it is something like a contrast, if you want, a difference. Okay, so unlike in the UK, the USA has cheap petrol. Okay, unlike in the UK, the USA has cheap petrol. Okay. Unlike in the UK, the USA has cheap petrol. In theory, now let's see in theory. In theory and in practice. In theory, in practice, okay, show an unexpected result. In theory and in practice, show an unexpected result. Example: in theory, teachers should prepare for lessons, but in practice, they often don't have enough time. This is a reality. Okay, this is a reality for teachers. In theory, teachers should prepare for lessons, but in practice, they often don't have enough time. Okay, sorry. In theory, teachers should prepare for lessons, but in practice, they often don't have enough time. Okay, so the two expressions they show an unexpected result. Okay, let me repeat the example. In theory, teachers should prepare for lessons, but in practice, they often don't have enough time. Okay, so we have finished with the linking words that I have prepared for you. Okay, let's come back on them quickly. Let's come back on them quickly. So you have number one is giving examples. Okay. Number two is adding information. Okay. I won't come back on the example and explanation again. So let's move on. So in three we have summarizing. If you want to summarize, okay. If you want, we can read the words. Let's read the words together. Okay, so giving example, we have, for instance, namely, okay, adding information, we have and in addition, as well as also to, furthermore, moreover, apart from, okay, apart from, in addition to, besides. Let's continue. As it is a revision, we have already seen all these. In summarizing, okay, if you want to summarize your idea or your point of view, you have in short, in brief, in summary, to summarize, in a nutshell, to conclude, in conclusion. Okay, now for sequencing ideas. Number four, for sequencing ideas, okay, we have the former, ... the latter, okay, firstly, secondly, finally. The first point is lastly, the following. We continue. In number five, giving a reason. You have due to the fact that, owing to the fact that, because of, since, as. Okay, let's continue. So in number six, for giving a result. To give a result, you have therefore, so, consequently. This means that as a result. In number seven, contrasting ideas. We have but, however, although, even though, despite the fact that, despite the fact that, we have in spite of, okay, in spite of the fact that, nevertheless, nonetheless, okay, while, whereas, unlike, in theory, in practice, but, however, although, even though, despite the fact that, in spite of the fact that, nevertheless, nonetheless, while, whereas, unlike, in theory, in practice. Okay, in theory, in practice. Okay, now we are going to move on another points. We are going to move on another point. So here you have another list of linking words. This is another list of linking words. So here I summarize them on a table. Okay, we are going to discover them all together. Okay, so here is the part of linking words, and I have given some example of use. Okay, the first one is as long as, or provided that, or providing. As long as, provided that, or providing. Example, you can take my car as long as, or provided that, or providing you don't damage it. So here it is a condition. Okay, here it is a condition. Okay, meaning that I can give you my car, okay, in a condition that you must not damage it. This is a condition that you must obey before taking my car. So these linking words, they are expressed for, condition. Okay, they are used for condition. So you can take my car as long as you can damage it. You can take my car provided that you don't damage it. Or you can take my car providing you don't damage it. Okay? Here meaning that I will lend you my car on condition that you do not damage it. Okay? If you know that you won't damage my car, I can give it to you. But if you will damage it, I won't give you my car. Okay? Now, although or even though, example, although he is rich, he lives in a small house. Although he is rich, he lives in a small house. Even though he is rich, he lives in a small house. Even though he is rich, he lives in a small house. Here it means that in spite of the fact that he is rich, he lives in a small house. Living in a small house, okay, I can have money and live in a small house, okay. So having money is not a synonym of living in a big house or in a large house, okay. So it depends on everybody. I can have money or I can be rich and live in a small house, okay. The same way I can have money and live in a large house. So it depends on everybody, okay. Living in a big house is not a synonym of being rich or having money. So it is a choice. It depends on everybody. So in spite of the fact that he is rich, he lives in a small house. Okay, we continue. Now, even if is another linking word. Example, he is poor and has no house, but even if he had a lot of money, he would not buy a house. He is poor and has no house, but even if he had a lot of money, he would not buy a house. Here we know that he doesn't have money. He is a poor man, he doesn't have money. But even if he had money, he won't buy a house. Okay? Even if this man had money, he wouldn't buy a house. Okay, but for the time being, we know that he is a poor man, he has no house. But even if he has a lot of money, he wouldn't buy a house. Okay, so he has no money and no house, but supposing he had money, he still would not buy a house. Okay, so this is the explanation of the example. He has no money and no house, but supposing he had money, he still would not buy a house. Okay. So let's continue. Here we have in case. Okay, in case. Take an umbrella. In case it rains. Take an umbrella in case it rains. Here it means that there is a possibility that it will rain. This is why you must take the umbrella. If you don't take it, you will be wet by the rain. Okay? There is a possibility that it will rain, so you have to take the umbrella. So it's a good idea to take an umbrella. Okay, take an umbrella in case it rains. There is a possibility that it will rain, so it's a good idea to take an umbrella. Okay, let's continue. In spite of or despite, we have already seen these ones. Okay, in spite of or despite. In spite of or despite the rain, she walked to the station. Okay, in spite of the rain, she walked to the station. Or despite the rain, she walked to the station. In spite of or despite being blind, she walked to the station. Okay, in spite of being blind, she walked to the station. Or despite being blind, she walked to the station. Meaning that without being affected by the rain or by being blind. Okay, It means that without being affected by the rain or by being blind. Now, so that she arrived early so that she could help her colleagues. She arrived early so that she could help her colleagues. Okay, that is, she arrived early in order to help her colleagues. She arrived early so that she could help her colleagues. She arrived early for the purpose of helping her colleagues. Whereas Tom is rich, whereas Jack is poor. Tom is rich, whereas Jack is poor. Okay, here it is a idea of contrast. Okay, Tom is rich, in contrast, Jack is poor. Okay, there is no comment here, as we have already said it. Whatever, you can count on me whatever you decide to do. You can count, meaning that you can rely on me whatever you decide to do. Okay, you can count on me whatever you decide to do. Okay, no matter what you decide to do, you can count on me. Okay, you can trust on me, for example. Okay, whenever I will lend you my car whenever you need it. I will lend you my car whenever you need it. I will lend you my car whenever you need it. It means that no matter when you need my car, I will lend it to you. There is no condition to take my car. Okay, you can have it at any time. Okay, be it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at any time. If you need my car, you can have it with no condition. Okay, so I will lend you my car whenever you need it. No matter when you need my car, I will lend it to you. And wherever, my thoughts will be with you wherever you go. Okay, my thoughts will be with you wherever you go, meaning that no matter where you go, my thought will be with you. Okay, no matter where you go, my thoughts will be with you. So my thoughts will be with you wherever you go. Okay, so it is the end of the linking words I gave you, okay, from the beginning, okay, up to the end for preparing essay. Okay, so let me tell you that these linking words are very important for you when you want to prepare your essay or your writing. So you have to use them. You have to use them in your sentences, in your example, in your essay writing. Okay, because if you take them and you don't use them in your writing or essay, it means that they are not useful to you. Okay, so if you take it or you follow this course, okay, in turn you have to use them in your speaking, in your writing. Okay, so I'm sure that with all these expressions, okay, that is linking words, you are going to succeed your essay writing. Okay, so thank you so much for following me. Okay, we shall meet next time.